Beginning of the film, we see many candles lit in front of a portrait of a man named Mulya as if they are worshipping Mulya. There were many more things related to magic in this room. Now, as a boy named Lin reads something and hides a special bottle in a book box, the lights start flickering here and finally there is darkness everywhere. Lin felt as if someone was outside. When he went to check quickly, he felt a rustle in the fields as if someone passed by quickly. He thought that Mulya must be here, who was actually his teacher and the leader of this village. When he moved forward, he saw blood on greenery. The blood was increasing at every step. After going a little far, the more scary sight was in front of his eye. Mulya was lying dead in front of him. As he touched Mulya, his head fell down. After that, the scene cuts and we were shown 3 friends among them. Ainun is a big fan of Mulya. Mulya is famous for removing evil energies from people. Ainun wanted to be exactly like Mulya and was practicing here with her and her friend Rin. Ainun was shaking her friend's head and her friend was acting nonsense. While here, her third friend Bagas says what you are doing. Such evil energies do not come out. If you want to keep evil energies away from you, then you should pray. They do not pay much attention to Bagas. It was evening. These 2 girls returned to their hostel. This hostel was an Islamic school. When he played TV here, a show of Mulya was being shown on it. People started to consider Mulya as a messenger of God and they thought that Mulya's powers are very helpful for society. In this show, it is shown how Mulya cured a child's leg. Seeing this, Ainun was even more impressed with him and started acting like Mulya was acting. In the meantime, Ainun's teacher comes here. He tells Ainun to pray and also tells her not to follow Mulya too much because the teacher believed that if a person is sick, then he should go to the doctor. Why do people go to people like Mulya? Ainun does not listen to her teacher. She tells her that she will pray after a while. Now she is watching TV. After the scene cut, we finally see Mulya. There was a man sitting with his daughter outside the office. He looked very worried, but he told his daughter not to worry. Now we will become very rich. As he said this, he went to Mulya. Mulya already knew what he wanted, that's why he put his hand on the box and while reading something, he stabbed the man's hand. The man was in a lot of pain and started bleeding. The man was about to pick up his hand, but Mulya put his hand on the box again. He recited his mantra again and put something on the man's hand. Surprisingly, the man's deep wound healed in a second and when he opened the box from below, there was a lot of money in it. Seeing this money, the man became more greedy and he said to Mulya, I want more money. Mulya told him that now you have to make a sacrifice, for which the man probably agreed. Outside, we saw his daughter doing ablution. While doing this, to distract her, the next door was opened again and again. She closed it many times and then she left all this and started praying. During this time, we also saw a demon behind her which suddenly came very close to her. The scene cuts from here. Now in the night scene, we see Ainun and Rin. When they were coming back from the market, suddenly, Rin remembered that she forgot to take something. Leaving Ainun here, she ran away and went to get something from the market and then Ainun started seeing a vision. This was Mulya's vision. He was standing in the darkness and he said to Ainun that you will soon become like me. Saying this, he cut his throat with the knife in his hand and started bleeding. Ainun got scared badly and fell down there. When Rin came here, there was nothing like this here. She took her and went back to the hostel, and when she came back to the hostel, she found out that Mulya was really dead. So was the vision that Ainun saw true? To distract Ainun here, she found out one more truth, that she is actually Mulya's daughter and Yuak, whom she had always considered her father. Ainun's mother only gave her to Ainun so that Ainun's upbringing can be good by staying here. Yuak also tells Ainun that her real mother did not want her to meet Mulya. After hearing all this, she does not only lose trust in Yuak, but now she started hating Yuak and she had decided that she would definitely go to Mulya's funeral. Yuak does not interfere in her decision and he goes away after giving her the things given by her mother. Seeing those things, Ainun becomes sad by remembering her past, and as it was morning, she decided to go to Mulya's funeral with Bagas and Rin. Everyone was surprised that how can a father stay away from his daughter for so many years. Then Ainun told both of them that maybe Yuak lied, that I don't want to meet her and I only knew that I don't have a father. My parents are dead. Anyway, while going to Mulya's city, Ainun sees a demon on the way who had also taken Ainun's name. Seeing this, she was terrified, but then she thought it was an illusion because Rin and Bagas had neither seen anyone there nor heard her name. Anyway, they now reach here. Everyone was very sad about Mulya's death. Seeing Ainun, Lin, the boy whom we saw at the beginning of the movie, comes in front of her. Maybe he had recognized her. Lin tells Ainun that if you want, you can see Mulya and you can also bathe Mulya. Hearing this, Rin felt a little strange that women do not bathe men. Then Bagas Bagas said that maybe he is a traditional of this village. Ainun comes here to Mulya and sees that Mulya's throat was cut exactly the same way as she had seen. Now stitches were put on his throat. Anyway, Ainun bathes him and comes out. After Mulya's death, everyone else was so sad that they were crying. Now it's time to bury Mulya. We are shown that Mulya's face has turned black, and even before burying him, the prayers of Muslims were not being read. In fact, Lin was reading some strange prayers here. Ainun, Rin, and Bagas did not know anything. After doing all the rituals, they had now come home where Lin tells Ainun that Mulya has left something for you. I will show you that. When Rin and Bagas started going with her, Lin stopped them. Here came a girl named Jang who was pregnant. Ainun found out that she was his third mother. Seeing her, Ainun requested that please allow my friends to stay here today. That woman said nothing. After she left, Rin started talking to Bagas that maybe Ainun is going to get Mulya's powers, but as she heard that woman got angry and threatened them that they should leave as soon as possible and take Ainun as well. These two did not understand what she was saying. Here we see Lin and Ainun. Ainun asks Lin what kind of a person was my dad, and who killed my dad in such a bad way. Before telling all these things, Lin leaves from there, and this time, Ainun sees a human shadow behind the curtain. Ainun removed the curtain but saw nothing. Ainun was leaving, but that shadow came near her. It said her name and Ainun when turned back. That demon attacked Ainun. It was the same demon Ainun saw on the way. Here we see Lin brings a book for Ainun and handles herself. Lin says, if you want to know what kind of a person your father was, so do what he did, and that is what Mulya wanted. Saying this, he leaves while giving her a book and saying that he will take her to Mulya's special place at night where you have to go alone. Maybe going there, you will understand what kind of a person your father was. In the morning, we see Bagas go to a nearby mosque, and surprisingly, it was deserted and filthy. Maybe none has used it for a long time. He was about to call for prayer, but Lin came there and said, if you want to pray, so pray alone, because it is a tradition in our village that none prays. Now he prays alone. While praying, he feels like someone is praying with him. As he went into prostration, he saw Mulya's cut head near him. He gets scared, but he keeps praying, and when he completes his prayer, he doesn't see anyone there. The weird thing was the prayer mat was also turned opposite the direction he sat. He panics to see all this and tells all this to Ainun and Rin that it is a strange place and none pray here. Even the people here didn't listen to prayer for years. Rin was also surprised that if the people here don't pray, then why a mosque was built here? Then she recalls that in a place haunted by evil energy, people do not offer prayers. Rin and Ainun are shown sitting together in the next scene. Rin was cutting her nails when she accidentally cuts her thumb. She comes to Ainun and Ainun says weirdly in Mulya's way that you have to keep faith in me, but Rin becomes worried about seeing her. Now we see Bagas near Ainun's room. Meanwhile, Ainun comes from behind and asks about Rin because they haven't seen her for a long time. When they move inside the room, Rin was sitting inside and suddenly, Ainun sitting in front of Rin disappeared. It means if the real Ainun was behind her, Ainun sitting with her was a demon. Rin has also turned on her recording camera, and when she checked, she was talking to herself and Ainun wasn't there. They get even more scared to see all this and decide to go back to their hostel. Ainun says that she wants to follow her dad's path. If they want to leave without her, they can. Bagas is shocked to hear her and wants to get the book Ainun's hand, but she doesn't give him that book and leaves from there in anger. The scene cuts and we are shown a new character, a boy who lives with Ainun's third mom. He is Ainun's second mom's son. This boy Rahmeth asks his mom why Ainun has come here, but his mom has no answer for this. At night, we see that when Ajang was sleeping, she sees someone on her bed. When she turned the torch on, it was her son Rahmeth. He was scared and asks her to sit. He was scared and Ajang asked him, what happened, son? He says, I saw Mulya walking in the house. She also gets scared to hear this. They remove the bedclothes and see in the room, they see Mulya's feet walking. They get scared and scream, but when Ajang sees her son, he turns into a demon. He scares Ajang badly, then she wakes up and finds out it was her dream. At night, Lin takes Ainun to Mulya's secret place and says you are Mulya's daughter and you now have a huge responsibility. Saying this, he warms a knife and stabs it into her hands and feet. Ainun suffers from pain and sees visions of her younger brother, Rahmeth. When she was lost in her vision, we see a creepy scene in which the demon was sucking the blood bleeding from her hands and feet. The scene cuts and we are shown that Rahmeth's radio suddenly turned on and Mulya was speaking in it. Rahmeth becomes frightened and immediately turns it off. Meanwhile, he hears rustling outside his house. There was Ainun outside behind whom Lin was walking with a lamp. She passes him a weird smile and it is shown that the villagers were following Ainun as they used to follow Mulya. Scared, Rahmeth goes to Bagas and warns him that the demon will soon possess Ainun. Save her if you want to. Bagas couldn't understand what is happening. Rahmeth asks, do you know how to call for prayer? Bagas nods yes. Rahmeth says Bagas then call for prayer, then you will find out everything what is happening. As per his instruction, Bagas starts calling for prayer. As he was calling for prayer, the villagers suffer from headache, their noses and mouths started bleeding. Even Ainun was also suffering from pain, and Ainun's shadow watching her from the mirror was smiling. Bagas, who was calling for prayer, his throat was also bursting, it started bleeding, and he stops the prayer. As the prayer stops, everything becomes normal. Ainun understands that there is something evil. They have to offer prayers to end all this. She immediately runs to Rin and Bagas, who were in the mosque at this. Seeing his worst condition, she panics and says we have to offer prayer immediately. Bagas and Ainun start offering prayer and Rin guards them. She sees Rivmith watching them secretly. As Bagas finishes prayer, he sees Ainun on the roof. Her teeth were creepy and were bleeding, and it seemed from her eyes that a demon had possessed her. She gets down hurriedly and attacks Rivmith before she can end him. A Jang comes and saves Rivmith from her. As Rivmith moves away, Ainun comes back to her senses, but she doesn't remember what she did. They come home and a Jang says to Bagas and Rin in anger that you are not respecting our village traditions. Our villagers suffer from pain with this. If you can't live with us according to our rules, then leave. Hearing this, Ainun comes here in anger and asks a Jang what is going on here. Here, a Jang and Rivmith try to make her understand that our dad wasn't a good person. She also finds out that Ramat wasn't a Jang's but Mulya's second wife's son, whose dead body wasn't seen by anyone. Rivmith's leg was disabled and Mulya also couldn't make fine. Ainun couldn't bear all this against her dad. She wasn't understanding that her dad was involved in evil activity. In the morning, Bagas and Rin were ready to leave for their city. They also asked Ainun to leave with them, but she refused. Rivmith takes them to his room. They couldn't understand why the people whom Mulya healed couldn't pray. Rivmith has already searched a lot about his father. He gives this information to Bagas and Rin. He also wanted to know from where his father got energies. He even tells them that everyone depended on Mulya when he got powers. They even come to Mulya for money. Rivmith knows many other things and he takes them to a secret room in the base. The room we saw at the beginning. They look into the book and found a key from a book. This key unlocks a secret door in the base. Rivmith opens the door for them, but he doesn't proceed because he can't climb the stairs. Rin starts recording and Bagas was moving ahead. As she moves behind him, there was Mulya's picture at a place in which she saw a rosary, and when she was about to leave, the beads of this rosary spread in her way. She starts recording all this, and when she lifts up her camera to the picture, she sees someone sitting with him in white clothes. He suddenly attacks Rin and Bagas comes here immediately after hearing her scream. He takes Rin with him and moving ahead, they find another door but haven't its key. Rin removes her hairpin and Bagas opens the door before they could move inside. Many of Black Hands start to pull them inside with their power. They somehow escaped from there while reciting duos. When they were leaving out, the door wasn't opening. They turned and saw many people bent in front of them in prostration. Bagas gets scared and starts reciting dua. Due to this, the door opens and they finally escape from there, but Rin's camera leaves them. It is said that Ainun was walking in the village being unconscious. Even her mom was watching her. The villagers were following her in a trance and were happy considering her a leader. During this, Rivmith comes to his mom and tells her that the situation is getting worse. We can't stay here anymore. Listening to him, his mom packs the bag and gets ready to leave. The villagers were telling Ainun their problems and Ainun was solving them. Meanwhile, Bagas and Rin arrive and put his jacket on Ainun's head to let her come to her senses. As he knows that at this time, there is a demon in Ainun, but Ainun makes Bagas away from her. Rin and Bagas couldn't understand how they could make Ainun fine. When they go to ask for help from Rivmith and his mom, they see that they already left. On the other hand, we see Ainun completely possessed and her eyes were red. She was behaving like a demon. Now the demon shows her the visions of her dad's life. It is shown in the vision that Mulya does black magic and his energies were given by demons. When a Jang found this, she became furious, and seeing all this, she refused to live with Mulya because she knew that after becoming a mother of Mulya's child, she will just remain a sacrifice. She will die and her child will become a curse. Her baby wouldn't be born normal, and this is the reason that any of Mulya's wives were not alive. When Mulya realized that his wife has become danger for him, he came near to kill her. Before he could strangle her neck, Rivmith came and he separated Mulya's head from his body with a knife. He killed him. They placed Mulya's body in the forest to hide this murder. Here in Mulya's room, everyone bend in front of Ainun like Mulya. As her vision complete, Ainun runs towards the forest because she finds out that Rivmith and his mom are escaping. She wants to take revenge on Rivmith for her dad's death. She comes and attacks Rivmith. His mom tries to save her son from behind. She holds Ainun's feet and starts stabbing a sharp thing. Possessed Ainun was now after a Jang in anger. Rivmith runs from there and meets Bagas on the way. He asks for help from them to save his mom. When they come back, they were missing from there. They now hurriedly go to Mulya's basement to save her. They knew that there must be some way to break this magic. magic. They find out from a page that a person who is possessed by a devil can only be killed by his or her blood relation. That's why only Rivmith could kill his father. Now if they want to end the evil power from here, so Rivmith has to kill Ainun, but it was also possible that after killing Ainun, the evil powers possess Rivmith. They don't think it is a good idea, and they starts thinking a new idea to break this magic. They find the other way, that was of reading prayer together, but how they will agree the villagers for prayer. It was also a challenge. They were thinking all this that possessed Ainun brings wounded Ajang outside and calls Rivmith, saying that she will kill his mom if he will not come out. The villagers were also furious as Ainun was. Rivmith comes out and starts yelling and tells everyone the truth about his dad, that he wasn't a good human being. He was a devil and he sold his soul to devil to fulfill his wishes. He cured you with devilish powers. He was a beast who killed all his wives for the sake of sacrifice and made his kids a curse. I can't walk. Did you ever think that Mulya cured everyone but he couldn't cure me? Ainun becomes furious to hear him and she moves ahead to kill him, but this time too, Ajang holds her feet to save her son. The devil inside Ainun becomes furious. She picks up a stone and kills Ajang while hitting her head with it several times. Seeing this incident, the villagers understand that Ainun isn't a human but there is a demon in it. They tie Ainun with a tree. Meanwhile, Lin comes here and it finds out that it was Lin's plan. His daughter was sick and Mulya died before curing her. He knew that only the one from his bloodline could take Mulya's power. That's why he intentionally spread the news of his death and called Ainun here. He performed rituals to allow a devil to possess Ainun's body. Mulya worshipped a devil and Ajang knew this. That's why she asked Ainun and her friends to leave, but they didn't listen. Now when Lin comes ahead to help Ainun, the devil lifts him in anger, then throws him on the ground and kills him with a spear. The devil tells everyone through Ainun's body that she is mine and her body is also mine. Seeing this, Abah starts reciting prayer. As he read prayer, the loud voices were heard by the villagers from a distance except for Ainun. When they went inside and checked, the room was full of corpses that were hung upside down. These were all the sacrifices that Mulya made for the devil to get the powers. When the villagers are at that site, Lin has to take care of Ainun, but Ainun disappears suddenly. Ainun reaches here within a second in front of people. As she comes in front, the corpses bend in front of her. The villagers also get scared to see this weird scene, and the devil inside Ainun laughs. The devil says that the whole village left their faith in God while believing in me. Saying this, the devil made everyone bend in front of him. Abah also bends, but not completely because he believes in God. He starts reading prayers loudly. The villagers also starts reciting prayers behind him to get rid from this devil. Now because they do this together, Ainun falls to the ground and the devil suffers in her body. He finally leaves Ainun's body. After this, they wear clean clothes and starts praying together. They ask for forgiveness for their sins, but while doing this, Rin notices the rosary in her hand breaks. The beads of the rosary move to Ainun's place. When she sees Ainun, she was still possessed. The devil was still provoking her to follow her dad's path, but there was a good soul in Ainun. She always believed in God. Even now when she keeps believing in God, the devil loses and leaves her body, so she continues her prayer. The devil's possession ended here, and the film then shows Ajang's funeral the next morning. They all were sad about her death. All the dead bodies whom Mulya sacrificed were also buried. Here we see Yuak come to meet Ainun, who brought her up. Ainun becomes happy to see him. She thanks her dad that he showed her the right path. That's why she is saved today. At the end of the movie, we see that Abah has given Yuak Mulya's demonic book, through which he seeks to acquire dark powers. He requests that its powers be removed before handing it over to a scholar, and everyone agrees. They decide to live here with Rivmith and help the village. The story concludes by showing this.